Okay guys, so we're gonna test the brand new Wavebreaker Fin. This is the best new 4-star weapon that's come out to the game for Raiden Shogun, as well as Xiangling, potentially Rosaria, and other characters. So we're gonna put it to the test and see if it's good. Check it out. All right, so we're gonna be doing two different tests today. We're gonna be testing this weapon at Refine 1 and Refine 5, and we're testing this weapon on Raiden Shogun as well as Xiangling. This weapon, if you didn't know, is part of a whole series of weapons, and surprisingly, this weapon is so freaking good, and the entire series is so good that they are better at Refine 1 than a lot of other 4-stars in Genshin. But at Refine 5, we'll see how close they come up to Refine 5 5-stars and if they are really, really strong or not. Now, this weapon is actually a little bit different than the rest of the weapons of the series, because the Wavebreaker Fin is actually a very high base attack weapon at 620 total base attack, whereas all the other weapons of the series have actually had normalized ratios. All the other weapons the other two weapons right now are the Moyun's Moon and the Akumaru. Akumaru being the lowest base attack weapon at 510 with 41% attack on it, and the Moyun's Moon, which is going to have a, where is it? There it is. 565 base attack, and the Wavebreaker having the highest base attack at 620 with very low attack percentage. So this means that this weapon is going to do exceedingly well with more attack percentage buffs like Noblesse buff as well as Mills buff and any attack percentage boosters that we get, like utilizing things like, I don't know, the Freedom series weapons for Song of Broken Pines, the Elegy for the End for one, so if you're using on Sarah, etc., or potentially using the other weapon, which is the Freedom Sword, and that one is also a 20% attack booster, and I can't find it. If you want to see the other two weapon videos that we did one on the Moyun's Moon a few days ago, and about 3 weeks ago we did one, of course, on the Akumaru. So check out those two out if you want to see it. This weapon is a crazy strong weapon though. We'll be doing this test over in floor 12 in Abyss, and I'll show you exactly the artifact sets we're using. Alrighty, so we're gonna be doing the test on floor 12. We got 994 Kazuha with Freedom Sword. We're going to be rocking different weapons on Xiangling, and I'm going to start the test with, of course, the R1 Wavebreaker Fin, and we're running a 4-piece emblem set. The stat ratio we got on her is 54-160. I'm going to be running a level 1 Viridescent Hunt on Tartaglia with a 4-piece millisect, and we're going to nerf down we're just going to give him a BS artifact site, actually. He's got all HP, so he can just survive 40k HP, and he's only got 486 attack with his Viridescent Hunter level 1. We have Bennett with a fully nerfed set, giving him all level 1, level 0 plus 0 artifacts. He's of course using a Capula Favonia, and we'll be testing this out. First test is Wavebreaker Fin. For the test, what we're going to do is we'll just do one start rotation on Xiangling. So the initial rotation for damage on Xiangling here. So this is her initial damage. 10,000 with no buffs, and now we're gonna test her full buff damage.
Let's get down to business.
67k, 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 and we're gonna switch to catch. Let's get our baseline comparison for everything. Okay, here's Xiangling burst attack, 9,500 with no boosts. Xiangling with boosts.
It's my lucky day. Say no more. More.
Alright, it's about 65k to 61k. Right, I don't have Jade Spear leveled, and I can't do it right now. Skyward Spine. So we didn't. Okay, so Skyward Spine test with no buffs. Skyward Spine buff test.
Let's get down to business.
64k, 64k, 64k. All right. HOMA R1. Obviously, this is going to be way freaking higher because it has way more crit damage. 11k, 10,900. 10,900. That's not bad. Okay, so we're gonna go again.
It's my lucky day. How's this?
74k on HOMA. 79k on HOMA. All right, now we're gonna switch to Engulfing Lightning R5. 12,800. Jeez. Try again.
Let's get down to business.
79k on this thing too? We can give that one more shot just in case.
Say no more. How's this?
Come on. 82k, yeah. So that tops out at 82k. Okay, so this is better than HOMA right now. Okay, what weapon was this again? I already lost track.
It's my lucky day.
This was Favonius Lance, right? Favonius Lance, R5 or R1, 8k in the swirls. Or, right? Let's try again. Okay.
Let's get down to business. Say no more. How's this?
59. All right, 59 sounds about right. So 54 and 59 that we've seen so far. Lithic. Okay, Lithic with the Xiangling best team with only one leeway character. 9,600 and 9k swirls. Okay.
It's my lucky day.
60k.
Say no more.
64k. So 60 to 64k on Lithic with only one buff. So if for some reason you run a 4 leeway team, I can clearly see Lithic's going to be freaking way better than a lot of other weapons, but the fact that you can't get that is pretty tough. All right, Blacklift with no boosts. So this is Blacklift R1 essentially because I can't do a Blacklift R5 test. So we're going to do this. So Blacklift with no stacks is 9,200.
It's my lucky day. There's more.
67k, 55k. So the thing has like very spike damage. If you can get kills on this thing, you won't be able to snap the damage. So even if you get kills early on, it's not gonna work. But like if you use the weapon and then you have kills on it already, and they last for 30 seconds. So if you're using it for multiple rotations, this is probably the best weapon. It's probably gonna outstrip Wavebreaker by a shitload if you can get the weapon to get multiple stacks. So I can see that this weapon will probably be the best in slot if you can get the stacks. But this is probably way better. Okay, let's try it. R5 weapon. Are you now the new best 4-star for Raiden Shogun? Okay. So, elemental skill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 79k. Try again, just in case Global didn't get it. Based on this test, we can kind of see that the Wavebreaker at Refine 5 on its spin crit is going to be better than the best weapon of the series so far, which was the Staff of HOMA. Of course, not probably better than Engulfing Lightning if we're going to be using the maximum possible buff potential. So if you were to say take out other characters and like Tartaglia that has 60 energy cost and put in characters like Raiden Shogun, and using National Raiden Shogun, then the Wavebreaker R5 is actually going to be better than the Staff of HOMA because there's a 30 additional energy cost, which is actually going to add on more elemental burst damage. So knowing that the Wavebreaker R5 is better than the Staff of HOMA at R5 for certain teams. For other teams, it's going to be on par or about less or about the same, depending on like how you look at things. A few hundred damage is not really a lot to look at, especially since we're looking at a refined 5 4-star weapon versus a 5-star weapon. So it's a pretty interesting thing. And that means that at a refined 1, that you can actually have a weapon that will start rivaling the Staff of HOMA. Between R3, it should be really good. So overall, if you don't want to use a Staff of HOMA on your Xiangling, the Wavebreaker is the next best option. It is currently the best in-slot 4-star weapon for Xiangling and is better than the Skyward Spine at Refined 5, even though it has slightly less crit chance, and is probably going to be better than Jade Spear on the initial stacks, but I can't do the math there because the difference between Jade Spear and this weapon is that you can't get the Jade Spear stacks initially. So on your initial burst rotation, you're most likely going to have very similar damage to the Skyward Spine, if not less damage than the Skyward Spine, because you won't have any stacks from the Jade Spear. It will just crit 22% more of the time. On the following stacks, though, when you get the maximum stats, that's when you should have a little bit more damage on Jade Spear, if you're able to particle funnel and play perfectly with Jade Spear. But now we're going to test Raiden Shogun with this weapon because these numbers can be way different on her. Especially since she's the highest ultimate cost character in the game. Let's see here.
My lucky day.
'All right, just enough time. Yeah, it's just enough time. All right, weapon test done for this. Switching weapon to catch.
My lucky day.
530. Raiden Shogun with HOMA.
Let's get down to business.
590. Okay, Skyward Spine.
Let's get down to business. Say no more.
509. There it is, on screen. All right, Favonius Lance.
Let's get down to business.
482. There we go. Got a hit. Blacklift Polearm, which is basically R1. I might get a kill or two in here, but I think it'll just be from other characters. So it'll just be the same as R1. It won't be an R5 test.
Yay.
553. All right, cool. That one's pretty good, dude. Blacklift kind of good, you know what I'm saying? It's not bad. She gets the kills, so that's actually not bad. 553 is pretty good, dude.
Let's get down to business. Wait.
575. All right. Okay, Engulfing Lightning. I forgot to do this one yesterday.
My lucky day.
One. Okay. All right. So between all the weapons, of course, Engulfing Lightning is the best. Victor. Hi, Jake. Engulfing Lightning is the best, and then we got Staff of HOMA number 2, Wavebreaker number 3, which is really surprising. It definitely dumpsters on the catch at over 50,000 more damage. Go ahead and sort this real quick, and you can kind of see that like Blacklift actually came in 3rd, which is really surprising. I'm pretty sure that's because it got stacks halfway through, and like because it got kills halfway through, it got a lot better. And I think that's the thing that of Blacklift. So Blacklift is actually a lot better than I had originally anticipated for Raiden Shogun. Deathmatch probably will be okay too, someone in that similar bracket if you get like R5 on it potentially. But the catch you can see down here at R5 down here, and of course Skyward Spine down here, and Favonius Lance at the bottom. So the reason the catch beats out the Skyward Spine is because of the buffs that are applied to Raiden Shogun. Because you get because the Skyward Spine is a high base attack weapon, the buffs you're adding are flat attack buffs for both Raiden, for both Sarah's buff as well as Bennett buff, and because you're getting the same amount of attack value to both of these weapons, that's why the catch starts outstripping the spine. And that's why when I tell players, when people ask, is the spine better or the catch better, the catch will do more damage, whereas the spine potentially can land an extra hit. It really just depends on your rotation, but that's kind of what the break is. But really interestingly, the Wavebreaker R1 actually beats out both of them, which is really interesting to see. And of course, the Wavebreaker R5 dumpsters all of them. So very strong weapon either way. All right, so I got the general idea of what it's going to be good on. Since Raiden Shogun has some weird scalings, Xiangling and Raiden Shogun should have pretty similar weapon priority. or between the two. So I'm not going to do a second weapon test for Rosaria, but just know between these two characters, there should be, since they both have snapshotted burst and they're essentially the same scaling, they should be similar as far as damage goes. The only other one is Hu Tao, and I didn't really feel like doing the burst test here. Zhao's trash with this. Zhongli would be interesting with this. Rosaria has a 60 cost ulti, so there might be some differences there, but that's about it. So that's going to be it for this video. I think this weapon is the best in slot 4-star weapon overall for both Raiden Shogun as well as Xiangling. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.